Hey, it's yoga day. And guess what? I have a yoga series for pelvic floor. Did you think that was possible? Are you tired of hearing it? You can't be because you knew it was coming, right? But this yoga is going to be about relaxing the pelvic floor, okay? So no engagement. If we do engage it, if we are thinking about lifting that bean, it's only to then be able to find that relaxation. Okay, sometimes we have to squeeze something to be able to feel it relax, right? Like right now, whatever you're doing, if you squeeze your biceps, and then when you release it, it kind of lets that tension go. Right? If we have tension up in our shoulders, if we squeeze it up, and we exhale, inhale, relax it. Okay, so we might start out with kind of bringing some awareness to it, but this is going to be a relaxing thing. We're gonna be moving your hips, so get ready. A lot of us have tight hips just because the way we move in life. We're sitting a lot. We're in the car a lot. So we are going to be moving those hips, and it might feel really awkward, and that's okay. But if we think of our hip socket and our femur, we don't ask the femur to move around a lot, right? We don't get this action a lot. So I really want you to think about that ball and socket and being able to, when we are moving our hips, to be able to move that femur back and forth so that it gets more movement in there. We're going to warm up with some sun salutations, and then we'll do some more specific things. We're going to be sitting in some poses a little bit longer and really breathing into them so that we can relax that pelvic floor. So those inhales, we really relax the pelvic floor, and then when we exhale, we're just going to find the pelvic floor back to that neutral position. So really thinking about the inhale, unclenching our butt, moving those sit bones away from each other, and then just letting that pelvic floor find that neutral position. Okay, let's get started. If you do have yoga blocks at home, they would be helpful today. If not, get a stack of books. You can have a chair nearby because we will need a little bit of support for some of the exercises. Also, if you have a blanket, if your knees can be a little sensitive, because we're going to be in a low lunge. So go ahead and grab those real quick if you have them. Otherwise, we can make accommodations as we go. I'll get my water while you guys do that. Here we go. So we're going to do sun salutations to warm up. So we're just going to come to the top of our mat. We'll inhale. I'm going to move this down just a little bit. Or I'm going to back it up a little bit just so we get a little bit better of a view here. So we'll be at the top of the mat. We'll inhale, reach up, exhale, fold forward. You can find your hands on the mat. Bend those knees so your hands are on the ground. So you feel your feet and your hands on the ground. Kind of rock back and forth here if you can. And then inhale, rise to lower that back. Exhale, put that hands on the ground. Step back into a plank. Now here you can drop your knees to lower all the way to the ground. And then inhale, just come up a little bit. Exhale, push up. Inhale to downward dog. Here, I just want you to go back and forth just a little bit. Kind of find that space. Breathing here as we go. We're just kind of warming up the body. All right, I want you to inhale, look forward, and exhale, step. Again, keep those knees bent. That's totally fine. If you get those hands on the floor, inhale, just keep that back, get that back flat. Exhale, fold a little bit more if you can. Inhale, rise, reaching up, and exhale, come down. Inhale, lift those arms up, reach up. Exhale, lower. Again, bend those knees, get those hands on the ground. Inhale, rise. Exhale, move yourself back to a plank. Drop those knees if you need to. Lower as you exhale. Inhale your cobra. can be small, or you can push up to elevate it a little more, wherever you feel comfortable. And then inhale, exhale to downward dog. Again, you can hold this here if that's good. Otherwise, you can keep biking those legs back and forth if you want to feel a little more movement. Maybe you want to rise up on your toes, drop those heels back, rise up again. Maybe you want to rock back and forth a little bit. Do what feels good in your body, okay? All right, looking forward, inhale, step forward. Again, keep those knees bent if you need to, hands on the ground. And inhale, flatten that back. Exhale, let's fold a little bit. See if you can get those legs a little straighter. And inhale to rise, reaching up. Exhale to lower. One more time. Inhale, lift those arms up. Exhale, bend those knees. Get those hands on the ground. As you exhale, look at your knees. Inhale, back flat. Exhale, move back. Drop your knees to the ground if you need to lower all the way down. Exhaling. Inhaling to rise wherever feels comfortable to you. And exhale, moving to that downward dog. And let's try and hold this. And let's press our thumb and pinky into the ground. Press, press. Then our thumb and our ring finger, pressing those into the ground. Thumb and middle finger. Thumb and pointer finger pushing into the ground. Inhale, really flatten that back. Exhale, fold a little bit. Good. Inhale, looking forward, step forward. Exhale, looking, bending, grounding. Inhaling, come all the way up. And exhale. Good. All right, let's look at our toes. We don't look at our feet much, okay? So look at your feet and kind of rock back and forth. Rock back and forth. Come up on your toes. Come up on your heels. Back and forth. Kind of feel your whole feet on the ground. Whole foot on the ground. Whole feet, whole foot. All right, now I just want you looking at your toes. Can you lift up just your big toes? Can you lift them up? If you can, great. If not, encourage them. We don't do it, so they might not know how to do it. So encourage them. All right, put them down. Now I want you to pick up your pinky toes, just your pinky toes if you can. Again, if you can't, hold that big toe down, lift up the other ones, and then see if you can hold them up. And put them down. Let's try that big toe again. Think about it. Can you lift up just the big toes? And put them down. And just the 4 other toes. Keep those big toes down. Can you lift them up? Good. Now, I want you to find lots of space in those toes. So if that means moving them to the side so you're finding some space, do that. Okay, really spread them out. They're always in shoes bound together, right? Move them out. And ground those feet into the floor. I want you to think about taking this outside part of your leg and the outside part of your foot, putting all that weight and spreading the floor. Spread the floor right now with those feet. And think about moving your hips out. Okay? We're digging roots into the ground. Now I want you to inhale, reaching up, still thinking about moving that, spreading the floor, and exhale, come down. Inhale, let that pelvic floor drop, and exhale, letting it come back down, or coming back up to a neutral position. Inhale, dropping the pelvic floor, and exhaling, coming back down. Good. Let's just find yourself on your mat, and we're going to find a butterfly position. So feet together. This, if you need blocks for your butterfly, You can use blocks, you can use pillows. If your knees don't reach the floor, just as uncomfortable, put those there. It's totally fine. And now I want you to open your feet like a book. Like if this was a book, your feet are together, open them up like you're reading a book. Shoulders down, shoulder blades together, and reaching up, breathing in, really lengthen that back. Pull that chin back so we're not here. Pull it back. Inhale and then exhale. Come forward just with a flat back. I don't want you to round. We'll do that one too. But right now, I just want you to have a really flat back. So we're in that butterfly. Your feet are together. You've splayed your feet open so that it's like you're reading a book. And I want you to inhale, really reach that back up straight. And then exhale, just hinge your hips forward. So this isn't a big movement here, okay? We're really just opening this up. So inhale, lengthen. Think about someone's pulling you from the top of your head up. You're lengthening here. And then as you exhale, can you hinge those hips, keeping that back flat just a little bit. This whole week, we've just been doing little motions, finding just a little bit of space. Inhaling, reaching. Exhaling, folding a little bit more if we can. Inhale, reaching, relaxing that pelvic floor. And as we exhale and fold just a little bit, don't engage that pelvic floor. Just let it find its neutral position. Good. And let's put those legs back together. Make them go open and close a little bit. Maybe rub those sides of those hips. Might have been feeling good. Let's go back here. Open those feet up again. Okay. Again, let's start nice and tall. This time we are going to round our back. Okay. So inhale, reach that head up to the sky. Bring that neck back, that chin back. We're constantly here, so bring it back. And now inhale, reaching up. Exhaling, round forward. And just see how far you can go. Let's take 3 breaths here. Inhale, relaxing that pelvic floor, relaxing that belly. Exhale, find a neutral position. Inhale, relax. Exhale, neutral. One more. Inhale, relax. Exhale, neutral. Excellent, excellent. Now I want you to lay down, right? I'm going to move my camera here a little bit so you can see a little bit better. We're going to lay down, and we are going to, you can have one knee up or you can have it straight. If here is the best place for you to move, that's great. If you can straighten it a little more, that's good too. Find your hands behind your leg, and you're just going to pull here, really thinking about keeping those hips on the ground, okay? So right now I want you to think about pushing your right hip, your right leg should be up, and your right hip should be pushing into the ground, okay? And you're just going to pull as far as you start to feel tension in your hamstring. Let's take 3 good breaths here. Inhaling, relaxing that pelvic floor. Exhaling, letting it find a neutral position. Inhale, relax. Exhale, neutral position. And if you can on that exhale, give your leg a little tug. Not like tug, but pull gently. One more inhale and exhale. Good. Now, here I want you to let that leg drop to the side. So it's going to cross over your center midline. See how far you can let it go. I don't want it here. I don't want your whole hip off the ground. I just want you to kind of see how far it can go, keeping your hip where it is. If it's just here, that's fine. Let's stay here. Let's flex your foot as well to bring a little more awareness to that hamstring. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, relax that pelvic floor. Exhale, let it find a neutral position. Good. Bring it back to center. And let's switch legs. Again, if it's more comfortable for your knees to be bent, that's totally fine. Otherwise, you can extend it. All right, so hands behind your knee. If you can get your legs straight, great. If not, that's fine too. Let's bring our toe towards us to bring a little more awareness to that hamstring. And we're just going to pull it back as we can. Remember, now we have our left leg up, so we're trying to get that left hip, that left femur pushing into that hip bone socket, pushing it down. Inhale, think about extending. Exhale, if you can pull a little bit more, great. Inhale, exhale, if you can give it a little pull, great. If it's good where it is, just leave it there too. One more inhale, exhale. Good, now on your inhale, let's drop it and see how far it can go. Ooh, yeah, this one's a little bit tighter. Also take notice if one is tighter than the other. So again, we don't want this hip popping up. We want it to stay there so that we're really getting that side butt and that IT band, okay? So holding here, inhale, breathe into that stretch, and exhale, let it find space. Send that breath down so you're finding space. Inhale, exhale, let it find some space. Inhale, exhale. Good. Bring it back and come down. We're going to stay on our back. We're going to lift our knees up, lift our feet up. Can you grab those side feet? And then just inhale, relax those knees down, and exhale. We're going to just, again, we're trying to find that femur and that hip bone. How does this feel? Do you feel pressure in the front of your hips? Do you feel it in the back? Is one tenser than the other? Inhale, relax that pelvic floor. Exhale, find the neutral position. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Good. Now, let's roll to our side so we're in that tabletop position. So, if you have a blanket, you might want to put it under your knees for here because we're going to be in on our hands and knees up for a little bit for this one. So, if you want a little more padding under your knees, or you could fold your mat, and I'll do that. I'll fold my mat so I have a little more cushion under my knees. So, knees under your hips, hands under your shoulders, and let's just breathe in for cat and out for cow. Sorry. Breathe in for cow and out for cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Good. Now we're going to be in that neutral position. Pretend you have a tail, and I just want you to go side to side, like you're wagging your tail. Side to side, really squeezing. Find some movement in those hips. Wagging your tail side to side, keeping that back still in a neutral, flat position. Good. All right, still in this tabletop position. If your wrists are getting a little tired, just find a child's pose. That's totally fine. Now, I want you to think about your belly button as a pencil. A pencil's hanging down. And I want you to draw circles on your mat with your pencil. So if the pencil is all the way down here, I want you to start drawing circles. So you're going to do like a hula hoop motion with your pelvis, with your hips. And you're drawing that circle on the mat with your navel. So we're going to pick a side and just start moving those hips in a circle position. So you're kind of arching and rounding, arching and rounding. And opposite way. Fine, breathing this whole time. And just breathing and finding space in those hips. Kind of feeling like Elvis a little bit here. Good. All right. Let's drop back to child's pose. Drop back to child's pose. So child's pose is when you might need to open your hips a little bit here. Sorry about that. Open your knees. Knees. Try and keep your feet together. And we're just rocking back. Your hands can be in front of you. You could put your head on your hands. If you don't have knee flexion or this isn't comfortable, you can put a blanket under your knees to get a little more rise. But just sit back here, inhaling, relaxing that pelvic floor, and exhaling, letting it just find a neutral position. Inhale, relax. Exhale, neutral. Inhale, relax. Exhale, neutral. Inhale, relax. Exhale, neutral. Good. And come to rise slowly. All right, this is where if you have yoga blocks or a stack of books or a chair, it would be really helpful. Get those things, put them on the side here. We're going to stay on our knees. So if you have that blanket or that you fold your mat for a little more cushion, that'll be great. What you're going to do is you're going to take that right foot, put it on the outside of your right hand. Okay? We're going to be in this low lunge. So you can use a chair too. I could have my hands up here if I had my chair. Or if you have blocks and you need a little more rise, you can just turn them the other way, okay? If you have books, just add books, right? So here we're really thinking about that hip and femur. We're going to do circles here. And I really want you to think about breathing into that hip, moving that femur around in that hip socket. So we're going to inhale, and we're just going to do the same thing, pretending our belly button is a pencil, and we're just going to try and draw circles with our hips here. So we're trying to just stick our hips out, and moving it around like a hula hoop, those hip circles. Try not to move your knee too much. This is really just your hips. And you can go the opposite way too. One way, it might seem really awkward, and that's okay. It's a great thing about doing home workouts is no one's watching. Well, maybe somebody is, but they're not. You could just tell them to be quiet. Breathing here, just noticing if anything's pulling or feels uncomfortable. Good. All right, let's put that leg back. Now we're going to do the other side. So you are going to put that left leg on the outside of your left foot. Knee over your ankle. Let that fall. This like kind of move where it's going to be, or fall the way it falls. And same thing, we're just going to start to make some hip circles. And it might be kind of weird and uncomfortable at first. Just kind of play with it. My left side is so not coordinated. There we go. And just think about moving that femur around in your hip joint. Finding some space, like you're massaging the ball of that femur in your hip. Inhaling and exhaling, making sure you're breathing here, sending that breath to your hips. Good. Let's go the other direction. Might take a few rounds to figure out how to get it there. Try and keep that knee over your ankle. Good. Let's do a couple more. Massaging that femur bone in that hip socket. Good. All right. Let's bring it back. And let's just find that child's pose again. Just give it a little bit of relaxation here. Taking some breaths, inhaling and exhaling. Inhale, exhale. Sending that breath down to that pelvic floor. Relaxing it, moving those sit bones away from each other, finding space. Good. All right, on your next inhale, slowly come to a rise. If that mat's still, if you turned it up, just open it up a little bit. So if you're in that tabletop position, now I want you to find your downward dog. Okay, and we're just gonna kind of play with our hips here too. We're just gonna round, make circles with those hips in this position. Let's go make some circles to our right first. So circling to our right, kind of going back and forth here. Circle those hips to the right. Now let's try the left side. Circle to the left. I sound like I'm square dancing now. Circle those hips to the left. Again, I can tell a difference from one side to the other. Definitely is more awkward on one side than the other. Good. Excellent, excellent. And come back down to child's pose. And for child's pose, you can keep those feet together, open those knees up so that you have space for your belly, that inhale to relax. And then exhale, no engagement, just let everything find its neutral position. Inhaling and exhaling. Good. Awesome. Awesome. You guys did great. I hope you enjoyed that. I know it probably was awkward, but sometimes we have to get out of our comfort zone, right? To kind of notice what's going on in our hips and our pelvis. So much of tension in our pelvic floor ends up in our hips and our low back. So if we can start to find some movement in there and start to understand how to relax our pelvic floor more, we'll be able to find some more strength and stretch in our hips. All right, let me know how you like it.